I'm hoping no one interrupts me during this one, because I've got the shutters down and they make a god-awful noise when they go up. Okay, so this is episode 10. In this episode, we're going to be talking about smartphones. I don't know why they're called smartphones today. They're just phones, they're just your mobiles. They're all pretty smart. For the purpose of this video, because it's all written in Joey's book as a smartphone, I'm going to call them smartphones. But you know my views on it now. They're just phones, aren't they? Smartphones. Everyone's got them, always to hand, easy, convenient. 9 times out of 10, they're always going to have a pretty decent camera on them nowadays. Now, it's not going to replace a DSLR, definitely not going to replace a cinema camera, but if it's all you got, I'm going to show you, or at least explain to you how to make the most out of them. If you've got a smartphone, you should definitely be using it in one capacity or another. Whether you've got a DSLR or another camera, you should be utilizing this little thing. That's what she said. Not about me. So even if you can afford professional gear, whack it out, get it on show. This is a different channel, sorry. Basically, these are great and indispensable for quick social video content, like anywhere, on the go, in the office, behind the scenes, anywhere. They're great. I'm pretty sure no one watching this video is going, oh, my phone shoots video and I can upload it to Instagram and Facebook. Shit, I didn't know that. Now you do. Thanks, Dan. Leave it in the comment. Thanks, Dan. So these unpolished, unedited, or slightly unedited videos are a great way to humanize your content. And what I mean by that is it shows you in an unedited, uncensored version of yourself. Yeah? Does that make sense? It's also a great way to maintain contact with your customers, you know, keep them engaged, keep them updated. But it's also great for people who know your brand, who are already aware of your brand or your product, your service. But it doesn't have to be limited just to like Facebook and Instagram and TikTok. Seriously, I've never used TikTok, I don't get it. But you can use it in emails as well. So sending out little snippets of what you're getting up to. If you've got a product that is in manufacturing stage, you know, and you're going around a factory and you're talking to people who, you know, it's just a good way to show off content around you and your brand. I've not really sold his book too well in the last few videos, but Joey, co-founder of Viddyoze.com, check it out, link below. In his book, mentions that he loves using his phone for content, as do I. We both have like the newest Samsungs, and there's nothing wrong with Apples, they shoot great content too, the video is really good. I used to be an Apple whore. I just really wanted this phone because it flips. It's really cool. So I'm now a Samsung whore. The reason we love to use them like all the time is because we know how easy it is just to whip it out and start shooting. No setup, no crew or rigs or focusing or sound or anything. You just take it out, press record, and you're able to capture content easy. It's just really quick and convenient for us to start filming and provide some, you know, insight into what the company's getting up to, what Joey's doing. It's a lot more engaging and we can deliver it on a much more regular basis with minimal effort. Apart from I have to go through every video and Photoshop Joey. It's tedious. That's what my time is spent doing. See something, film it, stick it on social, boom. Like. Love. Something that Joey tends to do a lot. It's a live streaming video, so Instagram Live or Facebook Live. It's a great way to maintain that relationship with your customers. It's all about brand appearance. With that ease of use and the amazing stuff I just strung off about using your phone as a content creation tool, it does have limitations. It's really hard to produce good looking cinematic quality footage. And also you're gonna eventually be limited on storage if you're shooting everything on your phone all day, every day. You're gonna run out of space. Sooner or later, you're gonna have to delete a few nudies. Now, I'm not saying it's not possible to get cinematic quality footage on your phone. I've seen some, but if you watch the behind the scenes, it tends to be that your phone is in a rig, it's got some lenses attached, you've got a crew, you've got lights, you've got location, you've got runners, you've got a full production crew, all the works, then yeah, you're gonna get some pretty decent footage out of them. As great as these are, looks like a pager. And as great as these are, you're gonna need a few more tricks up your sleeves, or sleeve. What have you got, no sleeves? You're gonna need a few more tricks up them, regardless of sleeve size. So if you can afford a DSLR, get a DSLR, is what I'm saying. But saying that, if you're just starting out, you're new to video, or you're a young entrepreneur, you're more than likely just gonna be stuck with your phone. So here are 6 ways to improve. That's a technical term we use in the production industry. Improve. So here are 6 ways to improve your smartphone video. Buy a mic or a voice recorder. Like we said before, even if your video footage is spot on, top quality cinematic stuff, if your audio's shite, no one's gonna be listening to it for long. Imagine going to the cinema, watching Spielberg's next film, and the sound just being so bad or non-existent. You wouldn't stick around. So don't expect your customers and clients to stick around and watch your stuff. So something that I tend to use when shooting videos, and recommended by Joey, is this little Bluetooth lapel mic. Now I say lapel mic loosely because it's pretty chunky for what it is, but it's great. It's called the Smart Mic Plus, mic spelled as in M-I-K-E. Now you can connect this to any Bluetooth device. You can connect it to your phone, your laptop, your iPad. Some DSLRs even have Bluetooth capabilities now. It's a really worthwhile investment. I'll stick a link below somewhere to point you to this. Another good alternative, which I found just scraping through Amazon, it's nowhere near as good as the Smart Mic Plus. But if you're on a budget, I think this was like 15 or 16 quid. It's just a wired lapel mic. It's it's one of those things that you're not meant to eat. I learned that the hard way. This one just plugs in with a 3.5 jack. It's convenient to some degree, but obviously it's a pretty big wire. So you can set up on a tripod, on your phone on a tripod, which we will discuss in a second. But as a budget version, I don't know, try it out. Get the wireless one. So next one, mini tripods for your phone. No one wants to see shaky footage. You know, these are great. This one, like I said, really cheap. Stick your phone in, position it, and you're good to go. These aren't ideal for if you're walking and talking. You know, you're still gonna get shaky footage. So you probably gonna get a little stabilizer. I don't have anything to hand. We use bigger stabilizers here. Well, we have them. I don't tend to use them because they're quite time consuming to set up. But you can get some really cool little phone stabilizers. They're really good at mimicking some cinematic style footage, or at least improving your footage to make it look better. Something you can do if you can't afford a stabilizer, because they're upwards of $100, $200 sometimes. If you get a little tripod like this and you close the legs, you can actually use it as a selfie cam style thing, but that actually adds a lot of stability to it. Another thing you can do to attempt to get some better, less shaky footage is something called the Hero Grip. A little bit harder for me because I shoot on a lot bigger cameras, but like I said, this is improving your smartphone footage. Basically what you do, you've got your phone in one hand, add a bit more stability by kind of grabbing this hand tighter, adds a load more stability to your footage. And if you're out and about and you've not got your gear, perfect solution. So the Hero Grip. Next thing you can do to improve your smartphone footage is buy a lens. Now you're probably thinking, a lens? How are you gonna fit one of those on your phone? I don't mean one of these. Yeah, probably not great. So you might be surprised to know you can buy lenses for your phone. A lot of these can be quite gimmicky, so you need to kind of shop around and do some research. You get like ones like fish eyes, which I don't know the point. You know, like the old school skate videos where everything's like super wide and distorted. Like, I wouldn't recommend getting one of them. It's not going to make your video look professional at all, unless that's the look you're going for. One that I've picked up recently, and it's just for this video actually, I was looking around for lenses, doing my research for you guys. I came across a really cool anamorphic lens. It comes with a little clip that you slide over your camera. So you got your little clip on your phone, and you just screw that in, and this tends to be how most little lenses for your phone work. And you got your lens on there. If you want to add some really unique looking footage to your video content, like I said, this one is an anamorphic lens. So essentially what that does is, rather than it being a circular lens, it's more of a square lens, or an oblong lens, if you will. It squeezes your footage in a certain way, which you then in post-production stretch. Gives you a much more wider aspect ratio. So you know, a lot of films you get those black bars up above. Tom, stick some black bars, make this look cinematic. This kind of replicates that. It also provides some really cool lens flare, which is unique to anamorphic lenses. This lens is perfect in my opinion, for making your footage look a lot more cinematic. Really cool. You do need an app, as with most of the lenses out there. If they're giving you a certain look, you probably need an app for it. So this one is, again, it's from Moment. The app costs like $3.49 to download. It does all the de-squeezing and stretching in camera, so it saves the final footage already how you want it. Now, there's a little bit of a learning curve to that because there's software involved. And anamorphic is quite a unique look. But if you're looking for a little bit of character or to add something to your video content, make it look a lot better, definitely recommend getting a little lens for your phone. Next tip is use good light. Although this looks pretty dramatic, doesn't it? You need good light, and that's not just unique to smartphones. That's pretty much a rule of thumb for every kind of video. But to improve your smartphone footage, try and utilize light in the best possible way. These have really diddy little sensors, which makes it hard to get good footage in low light. It's going to be noisy and grainy. Essentially what a sensor does, it's a piece of hardware that captures light and it converts it into the footage that you're seeing. The less light, the more trouble it has converting that image, the worse it's going to look. So the smaller the sensor, the worse the image. Goes without saying, make sure your lighting is good. So we discussed the limitations of your storage on smartphones, and there's an easy way to improve that is to use the cloud. iCloud, Google Drive, OneDrive, Dropbox. There's plenty of stuff out there. Once your phone starts to fill up, stick it in the cloud and you can keep using your phone. I mean, it doesn't really improve your footage, but it's a tip for getting the most out of your phone. So there you go. So yeah, I guess if you start pairing up these tips and stuff, you get a good mic, you get a good lens, you can kind of start to see how your footage in your videos will improve. It'll make a massive difference over just a standalone footage you get from your phone. Another great way to improve your footage, not directly in your phone or the hardware you're using, is to check out the Viddyoze platform. This is a horribly shoehorned sales pitch, but it. Use the video platform, add some really cool animations in post-production to your footage. Titles, you can animate your logo, alpha channel, animations and texts. It looks sick. But yeah, a great way to improve your video if you don't want to do any of the above that I've mentioned. In fact, just use the platform. Go to viddyoze.com, ignore everything I've said. That'll work, that'll sort you out. Peace.